Hey, welcome to BEANSLOP. And I just got done watching Chainsaw Man, the Reze movie. I have been a big fan of Chainsaw Man. I actually made a video earlier on this channel a while back, going over season one. And so here's my thoughts as somebody that has read the manga just for part one. I read some of part two. I didn't get too far. Anyway, what do I feel about the movie? First off, it is pretty much beat for beat. The execution of that is just great. And the sound design in this movie is great. The visuals is great. Not just the animation, because the animation is obviously gonna be fucking awesome. It's Mappa. But like, there's a lot of scenes in this movie where lighting like plays a great amount of like tone, and it matches perfectly for how I feel the manga like was trying to change its tone throughout the story. And it's like the Reze movie is the Reze arc from the manga. The manga, I don't remember how long. I'm probably going to put it on screen for how long it is. But this movie kind of fit into it perfectly. Would I say there's any parts where the animation could have been better? Honestly, I think I would be greedy if I said that. They pushed it beyond my expectations. There's man, rotoscoping, like not rotoscoping, but basically the camera like following up the tower during the beginning of that rematch with the Bomb Devil and Denji is pretty much exactly how I thought it would have gone in the manga. And so again, I'm glazing this because animation wise, cinematography was very, very nice. Oh yeah, and another thing I didn't talk about, but I'm not one of those to complain about how close the art style is to a manga or given a source. I think it's like, unless something is disgustingly just ugly, and most of the time the situation is not like that, it's just people nitpicking. Unless it's like that, I'm not complaining at all. That being said, I really like the style change. I think it being closer to the manga actually does look better. That is, again, not to dismiss the season one art style. I think way too many people give a fuck about that. It's like so annoying. It's like these people are literally, even though I know the art style is not completely accurate, but it's like the animation was still making up for it for sure. People just get really greedy and shit. But yeah, this is a good meal. It was a good meal. The only thing I can think of, right, gripe wise, and I guess on the topic of like fitting into it, is that I think the beginning part of the movie where the setup is kind of a bit not long. I wouldn't say it drags on, but I do feel like a bit longer than I feel like comfortably I would have wanted it. But the thing is, I also kind of feel that same way in the manga. And so I don't really think that's like a critique that's fair. I think they really did adapt it like as much and as best as they could, and then did the things that you can't do in manga, like animation, like, colored lighting and things like that. And his voice acting also. I haven't even mentioned that yet, but I saw the dub. Seen this in an American Texas theater. The dub for it's really good. It's the same voice actors from the first season, I'm pretty sure. If there isn't, I'm putting it on screen right now. They all did a great job. Everybody did their roles great. You could like feel a lot of emotion through their characters. I guess examples. I guess before I say examples, I'm also going to mention that Chainsaw Man characters, specifically how Fujimoto writes them, they're a bit of they're odd. They're just weird. They're all weirdos. I don't think there's any normalcy at all in Chainsaw Man, except for, I'm actually thinking of some character. I'll put them on the screen, but I'm not gonna. I mean, I feel like there's also kind of reasons for the normalcy. Anyway, the ones that manage to survive are usually the fucking weirdos, right? And so the Shark Fiend voice actor, fucking awesome. Denji's voice actor, fucking awesome. Also, his voice acting specifically during like the Chainsaw Man transformation is great. Kobeni's voice actor is good. Reze voice actor is good. Aki. I think that's the first time I've heard the Angel Devil's voice actor. And great. I don't know where else they're from. Again, oh wow, I'm giving myself a lot of homework to do. Put it on screen. They're great voice actor. Great voice for the character. Yeah, it was all very, very well executed movie. I guess if I'm gonna talk about it story wise, let me yap a bit. I mean, that's why you're watching this, right? So I'm just gonna yap. And me yapping would be like really like the story of the Reze arc. It's my favorite part of the manga for part one because I just feel like it's really human. The way it's written in the interpretation of the story and things like that. Okay, I guess this is I'm saying this in kind of reference to Reze and her character, and like really her relationship to Denji writing wise. And I am gonna talk about that a bit, so there probably is spoilers. Skip to here if you don't want to hear any of those. So for those that haven't seen the rest of the manga, I think the real scary part and the brilliant part of Fujimoto's part is that it's subtle, but at the same time it's right in front of you. But just like with the context clues, it's like, well, Reze was a bad person and she was pretending to be good. But then at the very end, you realize that actually there was a little sliver of good in her, and it actually was genuinely found, and she had genuinely changed. And then Makima kills her. Then I feel like the ending of it is interpreted as you're supposed to think, okay, not only were you acting really weird during the last arc where you like came back to life after being shot in that weird fucking fight scene shit, but then also you come out of here and you're mad at the fucking mouses and you start talking about the country mouse and the field mouse and the country mouse and the city mouse, and it's like, how the fuck do you even know about that? And it's like, I don't know. You guys have the context clues. Hope you make your own. Hope you make the right theories, right decisions. But yeah, I think it's all really fun. I think it's all really dandy. Just introductions of characters are really fun, like the Angel Devil, Shark Fiend, but Aki and Angel Devil, right? That scene, you know what I'm talking about. Very, very well voice act. Very well done. Really liked it. Very believable. And it kind of like reels in how tragic of a character Aki is really supposed to be. I would like to put more in words again. No manga spoilers. No manga spoilers. I like the part at the end where like he's really thinking, he's waiting for her, and then Power comes in, and then he's like, is this the next thing? Is this the next obsession? Is this the next girl? And then he's just like, man, fuck it. And he starts eating the flowers. Like, this man clearly does not have any self-respect until this moment, you know? And I like that from a story standpoint. It was just funny because it's him eating flowers, but the point stands that he chose himself at the end, you know? And that's a good thing for his character growth. Even though Reze actually was the girl that was worth it. But he'll never know that. He'll never know that. So, love horror stuff. Perfect for this to be released in late October. I guess if I'm just gonna give it a ranking, right? Out of 10, I think it's a 9.5. And I don't really know if you want to trust my rankings as much. My track record on the internet isn't very great. I rated that fucking Mario movie way too high than I should have. But yeah, that being said, Chainsaw Man, it's a good movie, great movie actually. I would recommend go seeing it. Even if you haven't like seen season 1, I don't really think you need to in order to enjoy this movie. I know a lot of people get caught up on like, oh, I need to catch up and things like that. But if that's an issue, I think you'll be fine. And if you have seen season 1, if you've read the manga, I don't think there's any reason for you not to enjoy this movie. I think it's just a really fun watch. Maybe a bit too artsy for that early part where I said it was stretching on for too long. But here you go.